Good evening, Fiends. Are you ready? Let's get spooky.
Hello, Fiends, and welcome back to another episode of
Let's Get Spooky.
I'm Vamp.
And I'm AJ.
And it's been a minute.
We've
been doing a lot of things.
You've been busy building an empire.
We are in a new space. This is our new studio space. Welcome, all of you.
Look at all this space we have.
We can stretch our arms out. We're no longer forced to sit on the tiny couch together. We can sit on separate couches together.
If there's a harsh cut, no, it's probably because I said something really stupid.
Or something fell, or the light turned off, whatever, but we're here for it. It's going to be great. The new space has been a labor of love. Took a little bit longer than we anticipated, but you know what I learned? Construction is hard.
Yeah.
And building things is hard. And I have a newfound appreciation. Not that I didn't appreciate construction workers before because I knew the job was hard, but having to do it myself. Mm-hmm. I really appreciate construction workers. I feel like next time you see one, you should be thank you very much.
High five.
High five. You do great work.
Here's a $5 bill.
Yeah.
Just for nothing.
Just for surviving construction.
The fact that you learned electricity things, you learned how to put a door into a wall. Cause I don't know how to do that.
How to put a doorknob on, how to build stairs, how to cut a 45-degree angle for molding. Me even saying cut a 45-degree angle for molding is a sentence I never thought in my life I would ever say out loud.
But she did it, and she rocked it. And it looks
not
amazing.
The first time. I did real bad the first time. There's a video, and I was like, I'm going to make a video. I'm so good at this. This is going to be so easy. And you got to, flip the angle when you're doing the other side. I didn't know that. I was like, just cut it, right? It's fine. So my cocky ass cuts the molding, and I come in and the camera's out, and I'm like, I'm going to show these people how good I am at this. And obviously I cut it out because I don't want you to know that I'm stupid and I did it wrong. I go to put it together and I'm like, one side, perfect, nailed it. I go to do the other side and I was like, it's completely wrong.
Two angles.
And then the thing is, it's wasting materials. You do it wrong.
Yeah.
And when you just have enough and you mess up, you're like, damn it, that was $40 that I just wasted. Now I got to go get another one. So I learned my lesson really quick. I measure 17 times before I cut anything.
Yep.
But again, lots of useful tools that I hope that I never have to do ever again in my life. But moral of the story is appreciate construction workers because their job is hard.
Vamp Constructions. If you need help, she will arrive and...
Nope, I will not. I will tell you that you are an able human being. You could do it yourself, and I'll walk you through it, and you will do it yourself.
She'll send you a let me Google that for you link
exactly.
to a YouTube video that will show you how to do it yourself. I thought about it for a moment.
I was like, this is fun. Maybe this would be a fun thing. I'll do, and then I was like, no, I don't want to do that. Absolutely not. So hence, it took a little bit longer, but we're back at it in the new space, and our hands are free. We have new mics.
I know. Look at this. I don't have to hold anything.
I think we're gonna just start off with a little recap since it's been a minute or two.
A lot of good movies have come out.
Yes. Where are we starting? Because I feel like I said some, but I feel like they're too old. So I'll let you do number one movie.
I know. I'm trying to remember what we talked about last time.
We also have, we were texting each other and I'm like, hey, we're going to film. What should we talk about? And both of us equally could not remember
past topics. Like
nothing.
Did we talk about this already? I'm pretty sure I remember telling this story, but also I could have done that in my normal life and not in this setting.
Or thought about it. We didn't do it. And it took quite a bit of time. We both had to go deep dive into the Google Docs and see what we actually did.
Did some more research.
So forgive us if we are repeating ourselves because we can't remember anything.
Yeah, but it's fine. You get to hear us talk again.
Okay, you're starting. I'm letting you pick.
Companion.
Ooh. Okay. I loved it.
I loved it.
I thought it was great. I didn't... I've been doing this thing where I feel like I generally do this. I don't like to watch the trailers if I can avoid them.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty critical of everything and I'll get this whole thing in my head of what it should be. And then when it's not that, I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
So I saw I guess I could have companion, like I could have put some puzzle pieces together, but I didn't. So a lot of the things that obviously this came out forever ago, so spoiler alert, that doesn't apply here. I didn't see a lot of the things coming that everyone else was like, duh.
Yeah. So I go to the movies a lot, so I can't avoid trailers. There's times like where I like get in these like I go in these ups and downs where I'm like, okay, I'll watch the trailers. Then there's other times where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna like I'll sit there literally on my phone because I'm like I don't want to see the trailers just because.
Oh, well, while they're playing in the theater.
Yeah, a combo because like I see them so often, but then also I'm like I don't. Once you get close enough to the movie, that's when they start throwing like things in there like, why did you put that in the trailer? This is one where I wish I didn't see the trailer because in the trailer they say that she is basically like, you know, this kind of like robot companion being.
Yes. Yeah, I had no idea.
Which that would have been an amazing reveal if that happened.
I was like, this guy's a dick. Every time he would say stuff to her, and then once you realize what it is, you're like, okay, he's still kind of being a dick about it, but you understand she's not real, so you give it a pass card.
But in the trailer, they only say that she's one. Mm-hmm. But then because I knew she was one, the way that like the other couple told stories and acted with each other, I'm like, oh, he's one too.
Okay,
just
so
because of the way,
yeah,
like I knew she was one, and I'm like, well, there's very similar things.
Behaviors.
So I'm like, now I know you are one too. And so that reveal wasn't like, it didn't hit. And it would have been amazing if
to not know. I don't know. I mean, I feel like it would have been pretty easy to avoid showing. Yeah, because the
first trailer almost just made it seem like that's the one where she's like handcuffed to the table. And then she has to hold her hand. He makes her hold her hand above the flame. Yeah. But like, there's nothing in that one that says that. It wasn't until like the trailers after where it's like in your face, no, she's a
sex robot,
whatever. Yeah
I didn't see it coming. Cameron saw it coming. He was like, yeah, duh. And the whole time I'm like, I was just so, I guess, in the story that I didn't think about it, and I was just kind of building that dynamic in my head that he's just like a shitty boyfriend, you know. But then after you see it and you get it all, it's like, I love this when this happens, is that afterwards you're like, how did I not see that? Mm-hmm. The fact that I didn't see it was even more enjoyable to me. So I really liked it. The gore and everything was great.
Yeah, I just wish they didn't have that because, I mean, I was already sold. Jack Quaid's in it. That's all you have to tell me, and I'm there. So.
I would give it, I don't know that we really need to rate everything, but I would give it like a...
I'm not good at rating things, so I'm just going to give it 2 thumbs up. I would give it like an 8. No, I really liked it. It was really fun. I really liked it too.
Wolfman. I feel like Wolfman, when it came out, was right around the fires, which is super tragic. And I feel like there was so much going on around that time that it came out and then like no one really talked about it because we're obviously not trying to celebrate things around that time. But I really enjoyed it. I feel like it was so simple, and that's what I liked about it. It was just very like a basic story, which was a little bit predictable. But I enjoyed it. I think it was really fun.
It did the thing that drives me crazy where they're like, we need to add complications to this relationship. So then they throw out the divorce thing, but then they never like bring it up ever again. And you're like, why?
Oh, the build up where they're like, they're not seeing eye to eye.
They're not seeing eye to eye. Oh, we should get a divorce. Also, this is probably just me, but his wife, I thought that was one of his daughters in the trailer. Like, I don't know what it was, but in the trailer,
she looks like she's 12.
She looks like she's 12 years old.
She does. She's a great actress.
Honestly, good for her. Whatever skincare you're using, wonderful.
I know.
Love it.
I don't know how old she is, but she was one of my favorites. Did you watch Ozark?
No.
It's not really horror related. It's more of like a drama, but it's such a great show, and her character is incredible. Like, she plays that character so well. So I think for me, there's also those things like that where I'm like, I already love it. Like, you love Jack Quaid. You're like, I already love it because he's in it.
I love him. But
I loved it because it was her, and she was playing a different character, but I thought she nailed it. But you're right. That was a weird thing to touch upon. But I guess the way I saw it is like, okay, yeah, they're having a little bit of a rocky moment in their relationship, and then they get to his old home, and like shit gets crazy. So we're not really like, are we really worried about our divorce at that point?
You should be. Divorce is serious.
It is serious. But I think they had a bigger fish to fry, and there was, like fucking werewolf.
Yeah, so, there's just a few things where I was like, did we why even put that in the script if we're never gonna reference it again?
Drama to create some tension.
We need tension.
I don't know. I thought it was fun. I liked like how like real the werewolf looked. Obviously, it wasn't my favorite werewolf. I felt like I would have made different choices, but I did like how like realistic things were.
Yeah.
Which was a little gross, like the hairs and the little. Yeah. Okay, so I like that one. You didn't like it. That's fine.
Not so much.
Usually it's the other way around. Usually you love something and I'm like, I hate it. I hate it. Okay, you're up next.
Hard Eyes. You said you didn't see it.
I haven't. And there's like a bunch, and I feel like a bad person because there's so many things where people are like, have you seen it? And I'm like, no, but I've been busy.
Yeah.
Shit to do.
There's a lot of stuff
I have
going
a lot
on.
to catch up
so
on.
it makes sense, but I think it's really fun because it's really cheesy. It's like almost like Hallmark movie, horror movie. Like they make but blood and there's killing. And there's some good kills, but like it's just really cheesy. They make cheesy jokes. It's like them, like, you know, kind of like
is it like
starting
high school
to
teenagers
date.
kind of
No,
vibe? Are they older or they're grown?
Yeah, they're grown. They have real human adult jobs and stuff. But no, it's just really fun. I like the killer's mask with like the glowy eyes and
I
stuff,
like
which
the look of
really
the character.
good.
I like the PR around it. I think I got one PR package from it. And I did like the vibe behind it.
Yeah.
So it's on my list. It's definitely on my list.
It's
of
really
things to
fun.
watch.
It has Mason Gooding, who's from Scream, who I obviously really enjoy. Don't sit behind him in a movie theater, though. I did, and he was on his phone the entire time.
Rude.
How dare you? Rude. That was fucking rude. But other than that, he's a great actor.
Movie etiquette, not so good. Drop. Did you see Drop?
No.
So I really liked it. It was very much like it starts off super dramatic. So it's like trigger warning at the beginning because there's like abuse and stuff. And it's essentially like this widow who is starting to date again. So think about dating in today's day and age with like dating apps and meeting people and how like scary I feel like for me that was it. It's like that's the horror movie right there, is like getting back out there and meeting new people in a world where like everyone's a serial killer in your mind. So there's that. It's I forget his name. I don't think I have it. Oh, Brandon Sklenar. I don't know how I'm butchering that last name, but he's in 1923. He's one of the actors in that. So I dig him, and the movie was really good, and I had a really fun time. And there's a lot of things that happen in the movie where you're like, okay, why doesn't she just do this? Yeah. And you think about what she's going to do and what you would do, but then something happens for her to not be able to do that. That's realistic enough where you buy it. Okay. It's not like you're like, well, why doesn't she just call the cops? And right as about to do it, the guy's like, if you call the cops, this thing's going to happen. So it had that element of like, you're a little annoyed because you're like, there's an option you can take that's pretty simple right here. How are you not seeing it? And then that is like told in the next scene. We're like, oh, that's why she's not doing it. I loved it until the very end. And then it got like this weird, like Fast and Furious, like action.
Tokyo Drift?
Like slow-mo, like she's hanging out of the side of the building. And it was like so just like drastically changed the vibe of it, where I was like, I don't know what's going on here. And it just got crazy, like action. And then they bring it back and it was fine. But there was just that moment where I was like, I feel like at minute this,
like genre changed.
Yeah, it just turned into a completely different movie, and it just really made it like comical for a second, and then it came back. But it was fun. It was like scary, not necessarily like horror, but thriller. Yeah, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was one that I meant to see, but for some reason it just didn't work out.
I feel like it's not that old. It's like maybe a couple of months old. No, it's not in theaters. Oh, okay. It's definitely out of theaters, but it's not like 6 months old. It's only a couple months old.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Speaking of hanging outside of buildings, Final Destination Bloodlines.
I loved it.
I loved it. I mean, you can't go wrong.
I loved it.
You can't.
You can go wrong.
I don't know. Final Destination.
Well, this was 6, right? This is, I think, the 6th one. Yes. Did you watch 4 and 5? You can go wrong.
No. If you look at it as if it's like a joke, everything flies.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like some things fly better than others. In the last couple, they flew like very low to the ground, whereas like the other ones
It's soared. A different type of transportation.
Right. It's like old bus transportation. This last one though, I loved it. Like I was laughing, I was cringing. We have a mutual friend who like Final Destination is her jam, and she was like, I hated it, and I'm like, why? And I haven't gotten the full like explanation as to why.
Interesting.
But I think when you're so attached to something, you have expectations of what you want it to be. But there was so many scenes in, spoiler alert, this one's been out again for a little bit, so there was so many scenes where I was like, I don't want to look at, that's gross.
Oh, I mean, just like his like piercings being pulled off.
That was
like,
hard.
But I feel like
that was hard to watch.
It felt like a Final Destination movie. I did like how they kind of went to the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a couple like hand wavy moments, but like you're going for a Final Destination movie. I'm not going.
You're going for kills.
Yeah, I'm going to see
kills.
like how ridiculous like things can get.
Yeah, I feel like knowing that this one was coming back or coming out, we started from the beginning to like get through the whole thing. 1, 2, and 3, loved it. 4 and 5. The only good thing about 5 is at the very end, it does that like circle back where it makes everything make sense. It has like that last 10 minutes where you're like, yes, this is what I watched it for. But I feel like they were like the 3D ones where they were banking on things flying at you, and the story was just kind of whatever. The kills were okay, but I just was like, this is just ridiculous at this. Like, we didn't need to keep going. And then this last one, I was kind of like, I don't know where we're going to go from here. Yeah. And it was good.
It was great.
It was really good. And I did like at the end how it's like, I mean, spoiler alert, but like you're not getting out of it. Yeah. You know, which was...
You think you can cheat death, you can't.
Yeah, and I thought that they were going to leave it like every other kind of franchise where like, let's leave it open for another one, and they kind of like shut the fucking door.
They're like, nope.
They die.
Outie.
But they did it in a really fun way because I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
But the what is it, an MRI or a CT or whatever the machine is where you have to take
the one that's like a donut and you go in, you have to take all the metal out.
Yeah. I was like holding all my body parts as that was happening. I was like, no, ow, no, don't want that. Then he folds in half and I was like, yes.
Yeah. And then it's also great. Whoever like the Final Destination social people, like once the movie was out, they were sharing like how they did these different kills, and like they showed how that was done like mostly practically, and like the garbage truck scene,
which
like,
was great,
where you're just like, that looks so crazy. Just being able to kind of like see how they did the magic a little bit was really cool.
I think that behind the scenes element afterwards is like magic. Yeah, you know, because you see it on the screen, and a lot of the times you're like, I don't get it. I think if you work in kind of the industry, you
could probably see traces of how they did it.
Yeah, but when you actually see it happen, and the Tony Todd stuff, like,
oh my gosh, like that scene wrecked me. I was like, are you freaking kidding?
Yeah, like they really gave us, all of the fans, something to feel like so good. I mean, it was tough to watch because you're like, you know, obviously you miss him, but I felt like they did a really good job of paying honor to him, and people, like when he came on the screen, like people were cheering, and it was just like, it was done very, very well. So I would recommend it. I honestly went into it thinking like, this is a throwaway movie, because sometimes when franchises again go on for that long, you're just kind of like,
yeah, you're like, well, how are we going to keep going?
But the kills were good, the story was good, the characters were amazing, the chemistry was amazing. So I would highly recommend. One that I don't. Oh wait, I already went, right? It's your turn, or did you say that one?
I said Final Destination.
Mush brain. That was 10 minutes ago. This one, Sinners. I'll let you start.
I loved it. I mean, Michael B. Jordan, like, especially when you get two of him in one film. I loved it. I loved all the sound. The music is like insane. The different scenes where they're mixing all these different types of music is just, like, it kind of like blew my mind. I can never say his name right, but the composer, Ludwig van Beer, whatever his name is, he's insane. Like, he really shows off his mastery of like different instruments and stuff. Ryan Coogler, like, I don't know. I loved it. I thought the acting was really great in it. The vampire stuff was like really cool for me.
That's all I knew about it. I was like, I know it's like a time, like an era piece, and there's vampires. So again, I didn't watch the trailers. I didn't get like dive too deep into it. I wanted to love it so much. And visually, when it first, like the movie starts, I was like, this is beautiful. Like the scenery, everything was beautiful. It was shot beautifully. I just feel like it was like so all over the place for me. And I wanted to like it more, but it just felt like kind of wacky, which is fine. Like it was a little crazy. A lot of things were happening.
Yeah.
It just didn't hit for me. The vampire stuff was great, like all the kills and everything, and I loved the way they looked.
And also how they all kind of like have like that hive mind kind of thing.
Yes.
So like you have like these two people from like different cultures and they're all singing like their little like kind of
how
like
it brought
Irish
them together.
jigs like music, and like that one scene where they're all going in circles and they're all like going. It's so cool.
It was wacky for me. I don't know. Again, like to each their own. It just wasn't for me. I really wanted to like it, and it's not like I hated it. I watched it and it was fine, but it's not something that I'm like, oh my God, I need to watch that again. And it sucks because like parts of the music where I was super into it, and then it just like went so far all over the place, and I was like, I don't know what's happening.
And then also,
it was fine.
What's his name? The kid in it.
The younger kid?
The younger kid, like, he's so great. Like, I thought his acting was amazing. I think it's like one of his first
talented
films, too. So, I don't know. I really loved it.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes there's times when I watch things and I think about, like, everything else that happened in your day. You know, you can watch something and you're like, if it was a stressful day or tired or whatever it is, and how much that can affect how you feel about something.
Yeah.
And there's some times where I'll watch something and you're like, I loved it. And I'm like, I fucking hated that. And no shade to anyone involved, because it is a tremendous feat to make anything, and that is like commendable. But personally, it's just not for me.
Yeah.
But when so many people have the opinion where they like, I loved it, I always want to watch something again, because I'm like, maybe I wasn't
in the right headspace.
Right. Maybe there was something that I was missing. And there's been times where that's happened, where I've watched it again and I was like, well, I didn't really like it the first time, but the second time was actually pretty good. So maybe that's one that I have to revisit. And I think that's kind of a good point for like people out there, is like, you can watch something and hate it, but if everyone else around you loves it, like maybe give it a second shot. Maybe not. Maybe if you're like,
maybe
in your
it's
opinion,
just not for you. Like art is subjective. Like,
right. 100%.
Some people love things. I mean, like, all the time. I think there's another movie that you want to bring up later that I absolutely hate.
Which one?
Which is Terrifier 3, which is fine.
I liked 3. I wasn't like super sold on the beginning of the franchise, but I really liked 3. So yeah, you're right. It's like to each their own, and we can all find things that we relate to more than others. I want to circle back to a movie that you brought up. This was forever ago. Titane.
Oh.
Dude. We finally, this is like months ago, but we finally, I don't know what it was on, and we watched it. Listen, this movie, I can't really say like that it's good or it's great. That like, it's hard to give a word of what it is, because it is. And it's funny that I'm like contradicting myself, because this movie is wacky as fuck. It is wild.
She has a baby with a car.
Wild.
What are you saying?
What
are you saying?
There was a moment in the movie, and I don't think he was even halfway through, and I looked over at Cameron, and I was like, I don't think I want to watch this anymore. Like,
was it when she's on the toilet and she's sticking the hairpin?
There was.
That's what got me.
There was so many moments where I was like, I don't think I want to watch this again. It was so uncomfortable, but it's shot so beautifully. You don't.
The acting is really great.
The acting is great. It's a French film, right? I'm
yes.
pretty sure it's French. It goes in directions that you're like, I don't even, like, was someone on a lot of drugs when they decided this is where we're going next? Because it is wild, it's uncomfortable, it's gross, it's so many different things. I related it to, what's the one movie where Justin Long is the walrus?
Oh, Tusk.
Tusk is wildly uncomfortable as well. Like,
Tusk is so
I liked it, but it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I put it in that category, which is not really like scary, good. Like, I don't know. It's like miscellaneous. It's in the miscellaneous, but worth watching. So if you can see it, maybe don't watch it like with young children, or
don't eat and then watch it
don't eat.
Julia, I'm not going to be able to say her last name, but the director, she also directed another amazing film called Raw.
From the name, is it also kind of, is it in miscellaneous file?
There's like, so it's basically like you're following this family, and they're vegetarian. They can't eat meat. And then one of them accidentally eats meat, triggers something inside where you find out that she just starts eating people.
Oh, so they like can't eat meat because there's a reason why they can't eat meat. So okay.
And there's like a scene where she like this is like probably one of the best scenes in it, but her sister's finger gets cut off, and her first thought is she's sitting there looking, and she goes,
bites the nail?
No, she bites the finger.
Oh,
yeah.
gross.
It's great though. It's really great.
I mean, there's something to be said about a movie that makes you say out loud to your partner who you're watching with it, watching this movie with, to say, I don't think I want to watch this anymore. And it wasn't even like, ew, this is so scary, or this is just so gross. Like I felt so uncomfortable in my body where I was like, I feel like I need to escape this skin, clean it, and then maybe come back at a later date. Like, it was so uncomfortable. And then watching it. But then, that was the thing, is like, you're like, what is going to happen next?
Yeah.
And then the weird relationship with like her dad, that's like, cause then the dad or the guy thinks it's his son that's been missing or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they start having like it's just a lot. There's a lot happening. And yeah, I want to tell everyone to watch it, but I just feel like a lot of people aren't gonna be able to handle it.
Yeah.
So if you're brave, you should try. But no shame if you're like, I don't feel like I want to watch this anymore.
It's also a little NSFW. So
for sure. Yeah. There's lots of body parts.
You don't want to watch it on an airplane.
Okay, let's talk about that for a second. How many times have you been on an airplane and people are watching some shit that's like,
oh, that's Matt.
There's a kid next to you. That's her boobs are out. Like, what?
Yeah, no, Matt.
Some titties.
No, come on. Like, I would feel so uncomfortable if I'm like watching Titane on a plane where everyone, I mean, not that everyone's watching what you're doing, but when you know
someone
head,
sometimes they peek. But no, Matt, there's so many times where I'm like, I'm doing my own thing. I'm playing my Animal Crossing. I'm doing my dumb stuff. And then I look
public
over
activities.
And he's watching like a really artsy black and white horror movie where like some girl is like dying and she's like half naked. And I'm like, we're on an airplane. There's people around, and he's half asleep. So like most of the time he's not even actually watching it. So he doesn't even realize.
For everyone else.
Yeah. I'm like, I get it's artsy and stuff, but some stuff isn't for airplanes.
I mean, but why did they put it on the airplane? Is my
No,
question.
it's on his iPad.
Oh, it's on his iPad.
It's on his iPad.
No, I'm talking about the people that are like on the Delta flight watching on the Delta thing.
Oh.
And you're like, that's a
Well, that's on Delta.
Right. But like, would you, even if it was available, is there ever Cameron says yes, he would watch the boobs on the plane. I mean, again, there's nothing wrong with that, but I would just like, grandma that's a stranger next to me, he's usually in the window seat. So if we're flying together, he always takes the window because I fall asleep. So don't waste the window on the person that's sleeping.
Yeah.
So I'm usually the buffer. So he's in the window, then there's me, and then there's stranger, usually, if we're in the regular, like, comfort area.
Yeah, in the back with
if you're first class, then you only two of you. But if you're in comfort, you still have another person next to you. So they're typically not looking over to see his screen because I'm the middle buffer. But I'm not going to watch, like, I don't know. It's so wild to me, the things that people choose to watch. And then on your iPad, that's a bold move because that's like, I don't give a fuck who's watching. Deal with it. But when it's Delta, I'm like,
Matt, and he's half asleep, literally falling asleep like this.
Yeah.
And I look over and I'm like, what are you watching?
And then you can't, like, if you don't know what the movie is, you can't hear what's happening. So you're like,
oh yeah, he has his AirPods in.
You're like,
he does not care.
What's going on? We were just having a Delta conversation earlier about the cookies. I was very upset about the cookies.
Well, also, before we move off from like watching things on a plane, so I was on a flight with some coworkers. My friend Jen, her son is very into like, he's in college right now. He's super into like artsy films. Like, you know, he watches the old black and white films and stuff like that. My screen is broken. He's sitting in this, I'm in the window seat. My screen's broken, so I have nothing to watch. He's in the middle seat in the row in front of me. Do you want to know what this man?
How old is this man?
This child.
He's a man-child, so he's like,
no, he's 18.
He's 18. Okay.
I know, I think he's 20-something.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but.
Give me a hint.
It's depressing.
Oh, I don't
like,
know.
what's one of the most depressing movies you can think of?
I don't know.
That's very long. It's in black and white.
Schindler's List.
Yes. This kid puts on Schindler's List, and I am stuck with nothing to watch, and all I see is in the crack of the seat, Schindler's List. And every time I look up, it's a bad part, because that whole movie, I mean, it's a beautiful film. It is a beautiful piece of art, but it is depressing. It's not cheery.
Yeah. Yikes.
Thanks a lot, Mason. Thank you.
Did you ask him later, like, what possessed you to watch?
Oh, and I bring it up every moment.
Oh,
anytime I see him.
Does he just like that movie?
Well, he's like, well, I was watching all these films for school, and that was the next one on the list. And I said, you couldn't choose anything else?
You couldn't have saved this, like, go out of order?
Yeah, wait till you get home to watch Schindler's List.
Well, I guess if he didn't know what it was, that's also...
He knew.
Oh, he knew. Okay.
There's no way he didn't know.
That was a dick move, but listen, at least you have a story to tell from that.
Every time I see him, I'm like, remember when you forced me to watch Schindler's List on the plane?
Remember when you held my eyes open the entire time?
It was Clockwork Orange style. Eyes open, staring.
My favorite thing to do is when children are misbehaving in this row in front of you is to look through the crack, and you don't have to do anything. You just have to make eye contact, and they're like, they behave. Yeah. My earlier complaint about airplanes earlier was about Delta, and they try to tell me that the cookies... Like, the only reason you fly Delta is for the Biscoff cookies. Yep. They tried to say that they were a special request, and I was like, I'm going to have to talk to the manager. Yeah. Like, this is not a special request situation. And I feel like I was lied to, because on the flight home, they offered me cookies.
Just out of nowhere.
It
was not a special request.
I said when I was leaving to myself, I was like, I'm going to write an email, but I never did. So we'll see. I'm going to give them another chance the next flight. If they offer me the cookies, we're not going to write an email, but... If they decide to say
you didn't take it too far. At least you're not on the no-fly list, because I could see a situation where you're like, give me my cookies.
Where's the Biscoff cookies?
Yeah.
When I got home, I went to Costco and bought the case. Also, if you love Biscoff cookies as much as I do, Costco has a giant box of them, and it's more than you'll ever need. But it's available.
Perfect.
You don't have to wait for a Delta flight.
Sponsor us.
Sponsor us, Biscoff.
And Biscoff, please.
What movie did we just talk about?
We kind of went into a few. We went from Sinners to Titane to Schindler's List. You didn't, I don't think you saw this one, but Bring Her Back.
I didn't, but I was just talking to someone
also really great,
who said it was really good. And I was like, oh, excited. They're like, yeah, but like not like in a traditional good way. Like it was really good, but they said it was depressing.
It basically focuses on grief.
Okay.
So in that way, it's very depressing. There also has some like really great, like very realistic, like gore scenes. I was explaining one where like she's literally like biting off the skin from her arm. And like, I was like, that's really gross, because you could really see it's like a bones and all level of like, you can see the skin
super realistic,
ripping. You can see everything on the inside. And I was telling you about my weird intrusive thought that I always have, where I'm just like, what if I just
like if they piss you off
onto my my veins, just bit my veins.
Oh, you're saying to yourself. I thought you were like, oh, someone pisses you off, and you're like, oh, you pissed me off, Leanna, I'm gonna.
No, you're driving your car and you're like, oh, what if I just this, like,
I'm learning a lot about you.
My intrusive thoughts are really, it's not just like, oh, what if I dyed my hair a different color? No, my intrusive thoughts are like
what would my veins feel like if I bit them? Would they be
straight
stretchy?
Into my veins? And now I can see that it's really gross looking.
And you probably don't want to do it, or no, you still think about it?
It's been a minute since I thought about that,
but so it hasn't ruled it out completely for you.
Not completely, but
now you have
a little less,
a more visual representation of what it would actually do, and it's probably not.
And it's not good.
I think that when things are practical and executed so well, like that, for example, I keep going back to Titane, because then now I saying the word out loud again. I'm rushing through my mind all of the things that I was like, I'm gonna vomit. Mm-hmm. When it's executed and it looks so realistic, like how that makes your body feel. Mm. And I feel like if it doesn't make your body feel a certain way, you're probably a serial killer. But like for most of us, we're like, oh, I feel sick, or ew, that's like, gross, or I'm looking through my fingers, like I want to see, but I'm not sure that I want to see it. So I'm excited for that one, because I've heard nothing but good things about it.
It's really good. The same writer directors as Talk to Me, which is another great film.
I love Talk to Me. It took me a while to see that one when that came out, and when I watched it, I was like, how did I not see this sooner? That movie
is so good.
Is so freaking good. I have one on my list that you haven't seen yet, and this was should be out now, I believe. Found footage, The Making of the Patterson Project. It's a Radio Silence guys that did it. And
yeah.
it's essentially, if you've seen, it's like Sasquatch is in the main like PR, so it's like a guy in a Sasquatch suit. So it's a documentary with a bunch of amateur filmmakers, and they're basically trying to make the greatest found footage horror film. Again, I knew a little bit more about this because I was following their social media, so I saw a little bit more, but I didn't actually watch like the full trailer. The movie starts, and the best explanation is like, Cameron said this, and I was thinking it the entire time. It's like Napoleon Dynamite, but like horror comedy. And when you watch it, you're going to understand, because it's so, right off the bat, I was laughing. Like my face hurt so bad from laughing, and I was not expecting it to be so funny. And then the horror elements were really good as well. Like the jump scares, the scary parts were scary. The funny parts were fucking hilarious. And it was just a really fun new take on found footage. And I think when you hear that, everyone assumes it's going to be like Blair Witch, which I was scared at the beginning because I get really bad vertigo, so I can't do like 4DX or like found footage or like shaky camera stuff. But it wasn't that at all. It was someone filming them doing their found footage movie, and it was so much fun. So it's in select theaters now. I would highly recommend it. It's very different than what you think it's going to be, but in a really good way. Oh shit! As I hit my microphone.
Is it kind of like a Christopher Guest kind of thing, like Spinal Tap?
Yeah, and not in the sense that it's like about metal music or anything like that, but very
like
much that,
same kind of vein of like.
It's not
fun.
when you see the word found footage, you think POV.
Yeah.
It's not that at all.
Okay.
There's like very small little bits of that. But again, the opening scene, like the whole theater was busting up laughing. Like it's right
great.
up your alley. You're gonna like it a lot, huh?
I think AJ will love it.
Yes, you're gonna love it. What else you got?
I was trying to think. Did you see Clown in a Cornfield?
Yes, we actually just saw that like a week ago.
I thought it was fun.
I thought it was
I
fun
liked
too.
the clown design.
It's corny.
Yeah.
In a cornfield.
In a cornfield.
It was corny in a cornfield. But it was, I mean, it was simple. The story was like simple enough. I thought I feel like a lot of people were like, oh my God, it was so good. It was amazing. I loved it so much. It was fine. It was fun.
I mean, I wouldn't scream from the rooftops that it was the most amazing in the world, but I thought it was fun.
And the kills were good. I liked the, one thing I have to say was very predictable.
Yeah.
And I think that was the thing that pulled me out of it, is like every time that something would happen, I'm like, well, duh, how did we not know it's that guy? Like, how did you not know it's that guy?
There's a lot of parts that felt like a CW show.
Yes. Yeah, that's kind of like, it was like the Vampire Diaries horror movie. I love Kevin Durant. He's great. So anything that he's in, he's awesome.
I wish he was in it more.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Because I feel like because they didn't have him in it very much, then I was like, oh.
Yeah. The one thing too is the girl that's in it, the main girl. I was like, are you 3'5"? Like, she was so tiny. And there was moments where she's like trying to be a badass, and you see her like get into the car, and she's like struggling to get in because she's so little. And I was like, I'm sorry, I don't believe you.
You're too little.
I don't believe you could pull that off. Anything else? Are you just on your Letterboxd?
I'm on my Letterboxd. If you want to see what I'm watching, follow me on Letterboxd.
I need to get better about like logging.
It's the best. I'm
really bad at it.
I love my Letterboxd because, like we said, we have the memory of a goldfish.
Yeah,
so this is like the most perfect way to remember what I watch. Because at the end of the year, even though I'm sure like nobody looks at it, but I love to like say these are my top favorite movies of
like,
of the year, and then also this year I started a list where I'm like doing a list of all the movies that I've watched on VHS. So like before I would log a film, it's like you don't know if I watched this at a theater, if I watched it at home, streaming, or physical media, but me and my VHS, I love that form of physical media. So like I thought it'd be really cool to like just kind of keep track of like which ones I watch.
I think it's a great tool. at things or like events or with other people, and we do like what's your top, what, you know, and it's a fun topic of conversation. It also tells you a lot about people. I'm just really bad at logging my movies. Like I'll tell myself to do it and then I forget, and I'll sit for like chunks of time and I'm like, okay, I gotta get back to it.
I'm blessed in the way that Matt is very good at keeping up his Letterboxd. So there are times where like I'll forget to log something,
and then you can remember,
and then I go back because I'm like, oh, I watch basically every film with him,
right?
So like I can just go back and like look at his and go, yeah, I watched this, and this, and then I can go through and
list.
just fill in like the stuff that I watched on my own.
I have this is not a movie because I feel like I talked about everything in my list, but this is a real life horror that happened to me in what month?
My favorite kind.
The real life kind. It was a couple months. I think it was last month. So I get sinus infections often. Not often, but like when sick season comes around, like I'll get a normal cold like everyone else has, and then it turns into a sinus infection.
Yeah.
So we had been traveling. We had just gone to Dark Universe, to Epic Universe.
Yeah.
Came back. Cameron was really sick while we were there. And so we went from there and we had to go straight to Vegas for NAB, which is like a camera gear trade show that we go to. And so I'm assuming I'm going to get what he has. So he had like kind of like a flu cold situation. It lasted a couple days. But he was a trooper. He powered through because we were in Florida and we had shit to do.
Yeah.
And then we had the Vegas thing. And so I made it through Orlando and Vegas and I was fine. I was like, cool, I dodged it. I'm not going to get sick. And then we're back from Vegas and I start feeling kind of crappy. So immediately I went to urgent care and I was like, my husband just had it. He had this, this, and this. And the lady's like, cool.
I love how you just walk in there like, I blame it on him.
Yeah. Well, because
he got me sick.
What else could I have? But I was like, if I just explain what he had, they'll give me stuff and it won't get to where he was feeling super shitty. So I go and he had like a really bad cough. So she just gave me cough medicine and then like really strong ibuprofen. I was like, cool, awesome. We're going to be rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
I take it. Nothing happens. And I progressively am getting shittier feeling. And then I wake up one morning and I was like, I couldn't open my eyes. I'm like, what is going on? That's why I was like, I have an eye infection, maybe from traveling or the plane or whatever. We're at a convention. Maybe someone had something. It touched my eye. And my eyes were like goop closed shut. And I was like, fuck, man. So I'm like, clearly the cough medicine and the ibuprofen is not going to treat this situation. No. So there I go, back to urgent care. And I was like, hey, it's not whatever you gave me. And the cough medicine was not working. Like I would lay down and like choke because I was coughing so much.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I couldn't sleep at night. The second I lay down, I would start coughing. So I was like, this isn't working. So she's like, okay, I'll give you a stronger cough medicine. I was like, also, like green stuff is coming out of my eyes.
Thank God.
It was... I essentially had such a bad sinus infection that, this is gross, TMI, but you're going to hear it anyway. The mucus was coming out of every place it could. My nose,
ears?
Not my ears, my mouth, like coughing it up, my nose. And then because it couldn't get out of those two orifices fast enough, it started coming out of my tear ducts, out of my eyes for like days. So she gave me eye drops and she's like, you want the drops or the goop? She said goop. And I was like, the goop sounds not fun. And she's like, I know. Fun. But she said the goop works better than the drops. And I was like, okay, I'll take the goop. So it's like this goo you had to stick in your eyeballs. You have to open it and like drop it in there and then like move your eyeball around so it like coats it and it feels like you lubed your eyeball. It's very uncomfortable.
It's awful.
It's
not fun.
But it works. So like by day 2, only a little bit of green stuff was coming out of my eyes. And by like day 3 and 4, it stopped.
Yeah.
But there was a moment, I had been sick for like a week. It was a Sunday. I was sitting on the couch. Cameron came in and he just felt bad because he's like, I don't know what to do for you. Like my body hurt, like everything hurt. And I was laying on the couch and I was like, I think I need to go to the hospital. Like nothing was working. This was before the eyes were better. And I felt so bad. Like I was like, I feel like this is what dying is. Like I couldn't even breathe. I was coughing. It was just awful. And I was on, I think, day 2 of the antibiotics. And it took till day 3 till I started feeling, I had like one of those Vicks sinus, like Darth Vader things you put on your mouth with menthol so I could breathe. So I would sit in the bathroom and it just looks like I was crying because of the mint in my eyes for days. And that wasn't helping. I would sit in the bathtub and like put essential oils in there and like try to breathe. And I was just like I was like crying a lot because I felt so bad. And I've never felt that awful, like ever in my life. Like I wouldn't wish it on the worst, well, maybe on the worst human. You
I can think of a few people.
Yeah, I say that, but I do wish that on the worst humans. But yeah, so the crazy thing is I always get sinus infections, and for me to not go in and been like, treat this. I know this is where it's going to go. And it was like a week and a half of literal hell. Like I was like, this is how I go. I die in a puddle of my own mucus.
With green stuff coming out of your eyeballs.
My eyes are sealed, so I can't see it anymore. But it was awful. And I'm like, am I just getting older and I can't handle being sick anymore? But I really feel like,
no, I think you were hit with a different type of bus.
it was a real
Something was
fucked up
wrong.
bus.
Yeah.
That was like, it was torture. And I had shit to do. There was things I had to do. So I tried powering through, and I would do that thing where I'd wake up and I'd be like, you're just going to will yourself better. You're just going to, and that lasted maybe 25 minutes. And then I was like, okay, I've willed myself back to bed.
Again. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was like a real life, I'm almost dead situation.
It does not sound
But I made
fun.
it out. We're fine.
Here she is.
Yep.
Her eyeballs are
Antibiotics work, apparently. Drugs
Apparently.
work. I don't like taking things if I don't need to.
Yeah,
If
I
I don't
guess.
have to, I'd
I don't know.
rather-
It's fun.
I mean, there was nothing else if I didn't do it. I would have healed, but it would have taken like 3 weeks instead of a week and a half.
Even longer. That sounds insane.
So go to the doctor. If you don't feel good, don't WebMD it. Don't like.
Oh yeah, because WebMD would just be like, no, you're dead.
Don't
You're
will
literally
yourself
dead
better.
right
That
now.
usually doesn't work either. And I think the main thing is like, I'm going to give you my medical advice here. Don't stress yourself into sickness, because I feel like a lot of that is what happens is like you run yourself into the ground, and I'm very guilty of that. So
Yeah. I was telling you about my heart palpitations, but I'm not going to go into it now. That's
yeah.
between me and my own heart.
and your doctor.
And whatever.
You got anything else that's not so depressing? On that note.
Yeah, one thing that's not depressing, and I don't know why you're not singing it from the rooftops. You're on the big screen right now.
Oh, so
Hello?
that was one of the things when I said I have shit to do. That was one of the things.
Yeah.
So I was like already on the antibiotics, knowing that I was going to get better, but I still felt really bad. And I wasn't I wasn't contagious. I was at the point of like a sinus infection where it's like, this is a self-contained situation.
You're suffering, but it's not.
I can't give it to
the
anyone
sufferer's
else.
not going to transfer.
So I get an email and a text saying, hey, we're doing this thing. It's for Megan. We're filming like a,
It's like the thing that she comes out and she's like, yo, losers, don't go on your phone. Like, can't wait to see me on the big screen type
I can't
thing.
think of the
it's
name.
not a trailer. It's
not
like
a trailer. It's the Nicole Kidman
like a
thing.
pre-roll.
Golden. It's something golden. I can't think. I posted on Instagram. Go to my Instagram. You'll see it. But there's like a whole campaign around it. So it was basically Megan is doing that campaign saying, don't be a dick before a movie.
Yeah.
Turn your phone off, blah, blah, blah. So I was terribly sick. And I also lost my voice. So I got the whatever shit I had turned into a sinus infection, conjunctivitis, which is the eye situation, and then bronchitis.
Oh,
and because I was
gosh.
coughing so much, I lost my voice. So I couldn't talk. So we get to this thing, and I'm just trying to like will myself through it, like it's going to be fine. Because it was like I felt so terrible. But the whole thing was like they were encouraging us to be a dick in the movie because Megan's yelling at us.
Yeah.
So I just had to like be an asshole in a movie theater and make noise and be on our phones. But it was so much fun. So if you are, Megan comes out next week, but if you're seeing a movie in AMC theaters until then, there's like a pre-thing where Megan tells you to silence your cell phone. And if not, she's going to kick your ass.
It's great.
Or kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was really fun.
I didn't know. Apparently Instagram hates me and doesn't show me certain things from Leanna's Instagram.
I know,
because I didn't see it. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, wait, I know that person.
And she's like, before this, she's like, why didn't you say
I'm
anything?
like, why do you tell
And I
anyone?
was
Why
like-
are you telling everybody? And she's like, I did.
did. You just didn't see it. Because Instagram.
Oop.
Yeah. So, side note, if you do want to see your friends' things on Instagram,
You have to go to their page.
you do have to go to their page periodically to show that you want to see their stuff. But you can go and click the 3 little dots and basically turn on notifications or say, like, it brings it up higher in the algorithm. But you have to do work. So,
You have to put the hours in.
you have to put the hours in.
Okay.
I think that's it for movies. Do you have anything else?
I didn't know if we wanted to talk about upcoming stuff, but I know we're also dangerously high in time, and I don't know how long people's attention spans are.
Quick, what are you looking forward to?
Obviously Megan, Black
yes.
Phone 2.
Yes.
I Know What You Did Last Summer. Frankenstein,
I'm
Guillermo
really excited
del Toro.
for. I did
am
watch that
so
trailer.
hyped.
I went against
I haven't
my
watched
thing.
it yet because I want to see it on the big screen. I
Yeah.
don't want to watch it on my phone. I don't want to watch it on a computer. I want to see it on the big screen. I haven't seen it on a big screen
I
yet.
didn't do it on purpose. I got a PR email saying this is coming out, and then I was like, I'm watching it right now,
Yeah.
and then I was in. I Know What You Did Last Summer. I went to like a little trailer release thing for it,
fun.
and it looks fun. It's one of those things where people are like, do we need this to come back? But
Probably
the trailer,
not, but you know what?
No, we probably not. But the
Nostalgia.
trailer looks fun. And there's some of our favorites that are coming. I mean, I could say it's Freddie Prinze Jr.,
Yeah.
Jennifer Love Hewitt. So we also, it's one of those that it's coming back with original cast, which is always really nice. I'm excited for that one. I think that comes out next month. Megan's next week.
Yep. I haven't seen 28 Years Later.
I haven't
but
seen that either.
Very hyped and excited.
Yes, I heard it was good. I heard it does a lot of like storytelling, like build up in the beginning. I loved 28 Days Later. Like loved that movie.
We just rewatched it because again, we knew we were going to see it, so we watched years
It's
and
been a
weeks
long
and
time.
stuff.
Yeah.
Man, that movie looked like it was shot on a potato.
But listen, you could shoot something on a potato.
Oh, the
100%.
story is amazing.
If the story's good and it sounds good,
Yeah.
shoot it on a potato.
Yeah,
we will
totally
watch
fine.
it. People will tune in.
But I do have to comment that it does look like it was shot on a potato.
In fact, most likely shot on a potato.
I haven't seen much about it either, but Together, I've heard really great things about it, and I'm super excited.
We saw, where were we just at? And they had
For Jaws 50th.
we were at Alamo Draft House. We saw Jaws 50th.
Oh, yeah,
we saw
yeah.
it for the 50th anniversary, which is, I love Jaws. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But they had a poster in like
The
main
poster
room
looks.
for
Yeah,
it.
I've only seen the poster, and from that, I'm
Are
like,
they?
yeah.
What is the premise? Do you know?
With a
me
move
the
to the
Letterboxd.
countryside already testing the limits of a couple's relationship, a supernatural encounter begins an extreme transformation of their love, their lives, and their flesh. Dave Franco is in it. Allison Brie's in it.
They're together,
so
right?
Yeah.
They did the movie. They did a movie together called The Rental. We talked about it forever ago when we were talking about like horror stories of Airbnbs, and it's basically that. It was so similar to a real life situation, which I talked about in that episode.
Yeah.
About what happened
Real
to
messed
me and
up.
my friends. And I love that movie. I love their dynamic together. I think they're great together. The chemistry really transfers to the screen. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for that one
Very
too.
excited. It's not horror, and we touched on it earlier, but Spinal Tap 2.
Spinal Tap too. Yes, I know.
I'm excited for that.
There's some things that are just like, they're so adjacent that they have nothing to do with spooky stuff, but they're still going to be talked about on this show.
Still good.
So that will do it for this episode of Let's Get Spooky. We would like to thank our sponsors, Black Magic, Manlight, Kessler, and Lively Ghosts. And make sure to follow us on social media and check our website for all of our past episodes. And don't forget to stay spooky.